I have a friend, Scott Davenport. My interpretation of your question is that you are asking me, has John Jones' style changed? Has his skills diminished? Or are the other guys in the division starting to figure him out, thus catching up with him? Guys, do you happen to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm? Guys, did you know that my favorite hormone, testosterone, starts to decrease in males around the age of 30, and production continues to drop around 1% per year?
I was in California one time.
So Dana comes out as a little holiday treat for everybody on Thanksgiving and announces Conor McGregor versus Cowboy Cerrone, mid-January, 170 pounds, something that happens in a fight. I go to MMA Junkie. Mike Boehm just posted unconfirmed rumor that he believes to be true. Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker coming up San Diego later this year. What a weekend. How about we start off with Felder versus Hooker? Did you guys see Diego Sanchez's fight over the weekend? Jan Blachowicz and Corey Anderson go at it. Poirier and Al Iaquinta have seemed to be going back and forth, and I don't know where this came from. There was a stoppage over the weekend with two gentlemen whose names have too many syllables for me to report either of them accurately. We cannot help but to throw around the term the greatest of all time, Dan Hooker and Paul Felder. So the Super Bowl is done. Okay, now I gotta tell you right up front, you're beating me to some scoop. Did your father carry a threefold wallet that was 2 inches thick like George Costanza? Guys, let's be honest. No one needs a small suitcase crammed into their back pocket. Dave Meltzer came out with a report. I'm nothing short of surprised at the pushback that Jose Aldo is getting for receiving a title shot against Henry Cejudo. Little Nog came out and said that he would probably retire after his trilogy fight coming up with Shogun. Henry Cejudo has called out Alex Volkanovski, and I think more than anything, the reason I would like to talk to you guys is just to let you know this is real. Israel Adesanya's coach came out. Izzy Adesanya was rumored to have a staph infection. City Kickboxing seems to have things figured out to the highest of levels. Max Kellerman, who in my opinion is the single greatest boxing announcer in the history of boxing. John Jones came out and he said that he believes Jan Blachowicz is next. Somebody asked John Jones a question. I didn't see what was asked before this. I only heard John's response after. I came across a little gem the other day. Submission Underground took place. I got to tell you, best Submission Underground I've ever seen. You know, it's funny you should bring that up. The NCAA canceled the NCAA National Wrestling Championship. Guys, I had a great weekend out here in Oregon. Did you know that my favorite hormone, testosterone, starts to decrease about the age of 30, and production continues to drop about 1% per year? Corey Anderson's going to take on Jan Blachowicz. Kevin Lee and Charles Oliveira. This thing was a mess to the highest of levels. Tyson Fury's father came out. Darn it, I don't have anything. All right, guys, let's talk a little Thiago Santos here, all right? Submission Underground is returning February 23rd, live, exclusive, and free on UFC Fight Pass. And by free, I mean as long as you paid your monthly subscription. Fury fights Wilder. And this, guys, was awesome. Something very interesting came about. Dana White was talking about John Jones, and Dana White said John Jones is a freak of nature. And then Dana elaborated on why he said that. Sitting over here at Bad Guy Inc. Studios, and we're discussing who is the most underrated fighter of all time. You know, my job doesn't get any easier over here. First off, that is not a stupid question. I came across the craziest story. What the hell's going on in the heavyweight division? In the wake of the news that Poirier and Hooker are going to fight in San Diego later this year, I was talking to Helwani today. There is a lot on this fight. Yoel Romero and Izzy Adesanya. Let me offer you a response like this to just explain to you how this does work, okay? I woke up today in New York. Justin Gaethje's in a little bit of a tough spot.